Hi, Robert. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, perfect.
Good, good. Thank you for joining me at 5 o'clock on a Thursday. Appreciate it.
Thank you for, for
It looks,
hosting this meeting. Thank you.
yeah, good, good. Is the 5 o'clock time slot more convenient for your schedule?
Yeah, but
Great.
actually, it's sometimes it just slipped my mind. Actually, a couple of days on Tuesday, I supposed to join Monica.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
I didn't realize until it's already almost 5:20. So,
It's
and
okay. It happens.
it turned out I'm the only one registered.
Yeah. Yeah. Somebody else is registered, and I sent them the same reminder email, but this webinar is being recorded, so I can always
Okay.
share it with them. But since you're the only person on the line, what were you hoping to get from this workshop, or what interested you about the topic?
Uh, I have used Zoom before, but mostly just attending a meeting like today. Uh, so what I will be most interested in is how can I use Zoom or some other tool for my online class? For example, how can I kind of hold office hour using Zoom? And or if you have time, bring direct me to some resources on how can I learn to, for example, set up some kind of group meeting on Zoom for my students.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you. So we'll definitely be covering that. I'm going to be covering how to set up Zoom in your classroom, and also how to use Blackboard Collaborate. Both are very similar tools, in that you can use them for office hours. Just so that to quickly, I was also going to cover announcements and emailing and course messages through your course. Have you used announcements before?
Yeah, actually, quite frequently. So for announcement email, I feel rather comfortable. I think I can handle that.
Okay,
And at the same
perfect.
time, I think I tried collaborate before,
Uh-huh.
but personally, I kind of prefer using Zoom.
Okay,
So yeah.
yeah, Blackboard Collaborate recently upgraded their system.
Okay, okay.
So I'll start with Zoom, and I'll show you how to set that up in your classroom. And I'll just quickly show you Blackboard Collaborate. Um, oh, it looks like someone else joined. Hi, is that Eileen?
Yes, it's Eileen.
Oh, hi, Eileen. I was just chatting with Robert.
Great. Sorry I'm late.
No problem. Since it's just you two, I kind of wanted to make sure that I'm gearing this workshop to both of you. Robert shared that he uses announcements and emails pretty frequently in Blackboard, but that he was interested in seeing how Zoom could be used for office hours in his course. So I was wondering what brought you to this workshop, and what were you hoping to get out of it?
Well, I never thought of that as using it for office hours, since I do often call students. I guess I don't think of it as getting a visual as well. So that would be one thing. And I definitely use Outlook and other aspects. But I'm thinking, communicating with, I have an online class. I often teach online, so I'm trying to, I want to make sure that I'm doing the best to communicate with the online students in the general class way. So for me, that would be another bit of information that would be helpful.
Okay, wonderful. In your online class, do you currently use announcements?
Yes, I definitely use announcements. I definitely use the discussion board to, kind of keep communication going, because there's one discussion board post that I set that says, this is your instructor, ask questions here, kind of a thing.
Perfect. Perfect. Yeah, that's always a great idea. So I'll just quickly go over it since you both use it. But announcements, can you both see my screen okay?
Yes, sure, Cheryl,
Okay.
I can see.
I'm fine. Yeah.
Great, great. So you would click on Create Announcement. As you know, you can do a subject line, enter in your message. And then I like to point out this checkbox. I'm not sure if all faculty know about it, but this way you can send a copy of this announcement immediately. So it actually, if you check this box and then hit submit, you can send, it'll send an email to all of your students that are actively enrolled in the class. Do both of you currently use that?
I do.
Okay.
I use that box. You know, I want to make sure they get it right away.
Great.
Sure.
Yeah, same here.
Perfect. And in announcements, you can also add a course link. I don't know if you guys have gotten the chance to use that before, but it's right underneath before, and you can browse, and you can just expand this window. And let's say you are sending out a reminder to your students, you know, reminder our weekly assignment is due tomorrow, and you can actually insert a link to it. So students will get a direct link to the assignment. So that can be helpful when sending out reminders or when you want to reference specific course information.
One quick question. On the course links, looks like I can only link to the course content, right?
Yes. Yes.
I trying to link to the web link I create on Blackboard. Doesn't seem like that's available for me to choose.
Oh, you can insert a link in the message.
Okay, okay, got it.
Yeah, if it's like if it has like a www dot, it's an actual web page.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So that's quickly with announcements. This is a really popular tool to use, and most instructors use it. Let me just hit cancel. Okay. In here, there's also an email tool within Blackboard, and I'm just going to show you. It's found under Course Tools. You scroll all through these course tools and click on Send Email. What I like is you can choose to do all users, all student users. You can even, if you use groups in your courses, you can select to email a specific group. If it looks like maybe one group is falling behind, you can send an email just to them. So that's a pretty nice feature within Blackboard. Do you guys currently use?
I've never seen that before. I didn't realize it was there.
Okay, so let me just quickly show it. Robert, do you use?
Oh yeah, I use this all the time, yeah.
Okay, great. So let's say you wanted to send an email to all student users. You can click on this link, and then it's very similar to an announcement, subject line, message. You can attach a file here, and then you would just click submit. What's nice, I know, Eileen, you mentioned that you use Outlook
right.
emails. What's nice if it's sent through the course, then there's a record of it in the actual course. So that's, I think, the only benefit of between using this in email, your email account. There's also something called course messages. So sending an email will send a regular email to the inbox. Course messages can also be found under course tools. So it's right here. And so you have a little inbox. And what I like about this is because it's private, it's secure, and all of the activity remains within the system. This doesn't send an email, though. It will actually appear on a student's activity stream. So earlier I sent a message. So you can click on and just says hi. You know, how is the course going? You just want to send a brief message. Click OK, and it'll show up on the activity stream. So when you first log into Blackboard, it'll show up. Let me log into my student account. So it'll show up right when they log into Blackboard. It'll show up in their activity stream. So I know this is nice, I think, for when we have students that don't check their school email. I don't know if you've ever had that issue before.
Right.
But this is a nice, if you're having trouble getting a hold of a student, this is another way to communicate with them. All right. Any questions about announcements, emails, or course messages?
For the attachment sent through the email, what's the size limitation?
Oh, good question. I'm not sure, but let me put that down as a follow-up question, and I'll get back to you about that.
Yeah, on the regular email, I noticed that's the 25 meg. So I'm not sure about the Blackboard system. Yeah.
Size limit. Let me just write that down so I don't forget. Attachment.
I would assume it could be even less because the email system associated with student account, the Horizon account tend to have the quota issue.
Yeah, my feeling is that I doubt that you can send very large files.
Right.
I'm probably thinking like a very simple Word doc would probably go through with no problem. But if you were trying to send like a video or something, that might not go through. That's my guess. But let me check on that for you. Okay, great. So moving on to, let's start with Zoom. So you can actually add this depending on how you, Robert, I know you mentioned office hours.
Right.
So for office hours, in your syllabus, I would write that you are having online office hours, indicate what time you'll be online, and then I would direct students to a link that you've created or that you will create in your left-hand menu area. So you can create a content area, and you can call it Office Hours Link. Or if you want to call it Zoom Room, Robert's Room, you can get kind of creative with it. You can mark that as available to users and then click Submit. So now you have an office hours link. So you would click on this, go to Tools. So it's just like any of the other menu areas that you've created. You would click on it so that you can add a tool. So you go to Tools, click on Zoom, and then you can write instructions like click here for office hours. Right.
Just back up 1 second, Cheryl. So I create, because I'm doing it with you. So it create the content area with office hours link, and then within that you search for a tool, right? Or
yeah. So if you go to the top, see where it says build content.
Yes. No. Okay.
Yeah. If you scroll down and go to Zoom.
Okay. Now I see it. Sorry, you went a little too fast, but I'm there with you now.
Okay. Good. No problem. Click here for office hours. And then you can add in if you have any rules about office hours, or, you know, this room is reserved for office hour, you know, Monday and Wednesdays at, you know, 1 to 3 p.m. If there is another student in the room at the same time, please leave your name in the chat and join later or something. So this is sort of acts like an active office hours. So sort of like if you had a student knock on your door while you were currently meeting with somebody, right? You could provide directions on how you'd like to handle that. And usually that's to tell them to come back later or to sign back on. So however you choose to handle that. And then you would hit submit. Okay, sorry. Permit users. Everything's defaulted to so that it's available. Click submit.
But do they need an appointment to get to this? You know, not to get this far. I mean, this is going to automatically open up a Zoom. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay.
So you could you would click on it. I don't know if I can open a Zoom within a Zoom. It might give me an error.
I was wondering the same thing.
You would just click on it. Let me get out of here. And then this is also how it would appear for a student.
I think relate to Eileen's earlier question. I'm more thinking about, because the online class, most of the students are taking it as asynchronous. So instead of set up kind of a fixed office hour for them to join, I'm more thinking about ask them to make appointments. So I will send an invite to come to the room. No, I believe that can be set up in the Zoom, right? Or through the Blackboard, the same way.
Yeah, through Blackboard. Do you have them use your Google Calendar to create an appointment? Or you can just send them a Zoom, like your personal Zoom link.
Right.
So where's the personal Zoom link?
So if you go to, if you open up your Zoom, here, let me see. Okay, here we go. So I usually schedule one, so you can schedule it, and it will, you can put a date and time for it, and then you hit schedule, and then if you go to meetings, you can find the link. So today at 6 o'clock p.m., you can copy, you hit copy once, right? And then you would go to email the student, depending on an email, select user, email myself. I can include the information, the Zoom information in there, and then login information for office hours, and then hit submit to send email.
Yeah, I can see you create this way is kind of like set up a meeting, like what we did today.
Mm-hmm.
But I thought Zoom also have an option that I can reserve a room for students to go there. Is that it's called a meeting room or something?
Yeah, so you can create a meeting room. Just like you did the office hours. Like, are they already in groups?
No, not necessarily. It could be individual, could be group.
Okay, and so you want to create a place where they can meet with each other?
No, I'm just brainstorming. I'm not sure which way is the best. Actually, no, the send out the invite for the meeting definitely works. But I wonder whether there's some other way. For example, yeah, if I have group of students interested in the same thing, if I can ask them to join. But actually, I think meeting also work. But I thought they have a new feature called like room or something. I'm not sure.
Oh, in Zoom, there's something called breakout rooms.
Right.
So that is if you have 20 students all in a Zoom room, and you want them to go and in groups of 5, you want them to go and discuss something privately, you can split them up into groups, and then they can come back and discuss. So that's what breakout rooms
I see.
do.
Okay.
And yeah, when you are in a Zoom meeting, if you hover over where it says more, I don't know if you guys can see it because I'm sharing my screen. Can you guys see my Zoom control?
No.
Yeah, I think it hides because it's the actual program. But if you're interested in that, I'd be happy to show you that in person. That might be a little easier
Okay.
to demonstrate in person.
Okay.
Or I can probably find a video or resource, but yeah, if you're on campus. But if you want to set up an area for them to meet, I was also going to mention in course materials, if you wanted to say, okay, for week 1, group 1 needs to set up a meeting time. You can work that out yourselves. But here's a link for how you can access this tool to meet. So you would go to Tools, Zoom, and you can just call it Group Meeting number 1. And just like how we set up the office hour ones, click Submit, and you can just keep it open. And then this way, Group 1 will know that this is where they need to access their meeting group. Does that help, Robert?
Oh, yeah. Actually, I'm thinking about earlier when you create the office hour link for the Zoom. Can I actually use that instead of have a fixed hour? Can that one create some kind of communication to request for an appointment instead of I have to go, using the email or some other way, then send the invite?
Oh, I mean, I guess if you had a student contact you and say, hey, I'd really like to discuss this with you, and if you say, okay, I'm available at this date and this time, click on the office hour link in the Blackboard course to access it, you could do it that way instead of sending them a separate link.
I'm more to look at the demand side. It is somehow on the Blackboard, can I create something for a student to request for a Zoom meeting through Blackboard?
Through Blackboard? No. How do they normally request office or like a meeting with you?
Email, yeah.
Email?
Yeah, email too.
Yeah, I have seen where instructors will use their Google Calendar for students to reserve an appointment slot.
Yeah, Cheryl, I will contact you. Probably you can show me that.
Okay. Yeah. That's actually not a bad workshop idea. Now that I'm talking to you guys, is to maybe set up a workshop around different ways to set up office hours.
Right.
So that could include how to schedule it, different tools. I'd like to kind of have a moment to brainstorm that. But thank you for kind of inspiring me to develop an office hour workshop.
Yeah, that would work, but this is helpful too. I mean, there's other things to talk about, but I had not been aware of the use of the separate section to set up a Zoom. First I would email them to get the account, and then they could click here when it's time to talk, right? That would be the idea. Okay, got it.
Awesome.
I added that.
Perfect. And then Blackboard Collaborate recently updated. I think it was maybe about 3 to 6 months ago, so it's not super recent. But just in case you guys haven't seen it, I'm just going to show you quickly how it works. So in here we have Blackboard Collaborate Ultra under Course Tools. And so it's a separate section within your course, and it's integrated with Blackboard and in your course. So instead of having to download a separate application and open that up, you can schedule sessions right in your course. So you would create session, and you can call this, again, office hours or group meeting 1, however you plan to use it. And you can have your start or end dates or just no end. You have
Cheryl, I must have blinked, because where did you start this? Stop.
Oh yeah, I'm in under Course Tools.
Course Tools, yeah, then.
And then click on Blackboard Collaborate Ultra.
Okay, that's the part I missed. Sorry. Okay.
No problem.
Cheryl, earlier you mentioned this Collaborate have an updated version. What is the limit? Is there still a limit on the attendance for each session?
I don't believe so. I think I'm not quite sure what the limit would be.
I believe the older version is quite small, but
Oh, interesting. I don't remember there being.
yeah, and don't worry, I can follow up with you on that. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I just don't remember there being a prohibitive limit, right? Like I don't think anybody had an issue where there were too many participants.
Okay.
Is this also available to students? Is that what you're saying? They could use this for their own team meeting when I'm not a part of it?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, great. I'm listening.
Yeah. So I believe so you can set up if you want to, group meeting or group one meeting area, right? So you can open this up to students and then they can use this to meet with each other. So you don't have to mitigate that. How do we meet question for an online class? But it works very similar to Zoom. You would click on the link to join the session.
And the link is within that content area that you created, right? Or where would the link come up?
So you would probably want to add, so there was you click on this little ellipses, has copy guest link.
Oh, okay.
So you could go and put that into like the course materials or
now I see it.
Create a group meeting content area. This is the link that they could use. Okay, and then this is how it works. Very similar to Zoom. It shows your settings, share audio, share video. You can raise your hand. There's a toolbar over here that shows everyone that's in the chat. You can share content, so like sharing your screen.
Will it only open when it's open on the time that you put in there? The setting, like if this link that you create is going to see for like Thursday at 5 o'clock. Is that going to open then? I mean, be available only at Thursday at 5 o'clock?
Oh, you can leave it open.
I saw that where you could click that, but I meant as far as if you were trying to set up a meeting and you said, okay, we're having a meeting Thursday at 5 to 6. So you'd say, here's the link for that meeting. And then it would be whoever clicks in on Thursday from 5 to 6, they would be involved. They would be in this view that you have now, correct?
Yes.
Okay, got it.
Cheryl, one quick question.
Yeah.
On the share screen, it goes both ways, right? Student can share their screen with me as well.
Oh, that's a good question. Let me try it. Guest link, course materials. So this is my student login. Yeah, it gives me the option. No, nothing to share. So no, students can't share, but I'm wondering. So do you see how I can make the student account a presenter?
Yes.
So you can make them a presenter. So it tells me that I'm now a presenter. I wonder if that. Okay, and then now it gives me the option to share my screen, share files, or a blank whiteboard.
That's
So
great.
as long as you can give your students the permission.
That's going to be helpful. I'm mentoring a new faculty, and I didn't realize this was all there. I mean, we're trying to use Skype and stuff like that, but I'm not as adept in some of those. It depends. It works sometimes, doesn't. It doesn't. But I didn't realize this all was here. So this is great.
Yeah. Yeah, I think with the older version of Blackboard Collaborate, a lot of people lean more towards Zoom. But now that Blackboard Collaborate kind of updated, I haven't really seen any difference really between the quality of Zoom and Blackboard. I think with Zoom, the main benefit would definitely be the breakout rooms that we were talking about earlier. But I think for general meeting purposes, they're pretty comparable. Any other questions, or do you guys feel like you could set up Zoom or Collaborate in your classrooms?
I think I've got it. I like it.
Okay. Good. Robert, I have a couple questions that I'll go and research for you and get back to you about. But was there anything else, or anything else you were hoping to see?
No, I think this is good. I think this you show all that is pretty smoothly can be transferred. I just probably need to spend some time compare the difference between those two. Yeah, the old time I think Collaborate have lots of restriction, but it looks like right now it's several of those things has been taken care of. Yeah.
Yeah.
I probably will need to follow up with you on that Google Calendar thing.
Yes, let's schedule something for your Google Calendar. I'd also like to get a larger picture of how you kind of set this up in your courses currently. So
okay,
yeah, not a problem. Okay, so we do have the Credly badges. I don't know if either of you guys have. Oh, Eileen, you've been using them?
I got 2.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, first one even. Yeah. I'm still figuring out how to get it posted to my LinkedIn account, but otherwise, I think I'm getting the hang of the number and the account. So
wonderful. So I will put the. I think you just need the code from me.
That's correct.
Okay, so I'm going to put this in.
Robert might need more. I don't know. I mean, as far as the place and stuff like that.
Let me put it in the chat so that you can have the code. And then, Robert, if you're interested, I can walk you through how to create a Credly account.
Okay, sounds good. So I think I will follow up with probably email to you tomorrow so we can set up something next week to get together so I can get more detail.
Okay.
Right now, actually, unfortunately, I have to leave soon. So.
Oh, okay, no problem. Yeah, if you want to send me an email, we can meet next week. And then I will we'll go over the Google Calendar. I'll get the answers to your questions, and we can set up your Credly account.
That sounds great. Okay.
Great. Thanks for joining, Robert. I appreciate it.
Okay, thank you, Cheryl, and have a good day, Eileen.
Yes, thanks, Robert, and thanks, Cheryl.
Bye.
Appreciate your time, Cheryl. I have a class too, so this is good timing for me. But I will use what you told me, and I'm excited about the communication thing, either Zoom or the Ultra Blackboard part, because I just wasn't aware of that. So thank you very much. No
problem. And please send me an email if you want to meet and go over a specific assignment or a specific idea you have, and we can kind of brainstorm and help you set that up.
That might be a good idea. That's good to know. And I have your contact in my this announcement for this class, right?
Yes, I think I emailed you earlier today.
All right, sweet. Thanks very much.
Yeah. Did you get the Credly code okay?
I already sent the claim badge.
Oh,
yeah.
You are on top of it.
So it's waiting approval from folks there with you. All right.
Oh, great. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Cheryl. You have a good night.
Thanks, Eileen. You too. Bye-bye, everyone.
Bye.